We've already had some excellent movies come and go this year. With the rest of 2019, what are your top 5 most anticipated movies? Here are a couple of my patrons and my top 5 most anticipated. Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin, and these are my top 5 most anticipated movies for the rest of 2019. I'm super excited to dive into this list of my top 5 most anticipated, and I cannot wait to hear from you. What are your top 5 most anticipated movies for the rest of the year? Leave that in the comments, and before I dive into mine, I put this question to my patrons first. What are their top 5 most anticipated movies for the rest of the year? And I had a couple of my patrons respond. So without further ado, let's dive into that. My first patron who responded was Jeremy Hobbs, and here are his top 5 most anticipated films for the rest of 2019. Spider-Man: Far From Home, Lion King, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, Brightburn, and John freaking Wick 3. So I hope you really enjoyed that movie, Jeremy. I really do, seeing as I was right here on your top 5 most anticipated of the year. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Next, my patron Brayton, he had his top 5, and here's what he said. Crawl. He said, I loved me some B-movie monster fun, and it would be cool seeing Barry Pepper as a lead in a mainstream movie again. You know, I gotta say, watching the trailer for Crawl, is it bad that I instantly thought Sharknado? Like, I definitely think this won't be as cheesy as Sharknado, but since I love that cheesy stuff like Sharknado, I'm kind of with you there, buddy. I'm going to enjoy Crawl. His number 4 is Child's Play. I like the look and tone of the trailers. Hopefully the AI angle proves as effective as the voodoo soul transfer of the original. So yeah, we'll see as we dive into that. Number 3, The Dead Don't Die. I love a movie that can balance comedy and horror. I totally agree with you on that one. And watching the trailer for The Dead Don't Die, that movie does look pretty darn hilarious with a stellar cast. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing that. John Wick 3, totally hope you found that movie awesome. Let me know in the comments. And number 1, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. He says, I grew up on the Godzilla movies and the trailers have looked incredible. I totally agree with you on that one. I think the trailers for the new Godzilla movie do look pretty incredible. I'm also excited for that. So, there were my patrons, and that was their top 5 movies as we dive into the rest of 2019. So your turn in the comments. What are your top 5? Here are mine. Number 5 for me, Men in Black International. I am excited for this one. I've always liked the Men in Black movies. The first one, yeah, that one is the best one for sure. I haven't seen that original MIB trilogy, though, in so long. So I'm excited because, you know, as a movie review YouTuber, it's not just I'm gonna go see the new one and review it. Of course, I gotta go back and rewatch the original 3 and then rank it all together, so it won't be long before finally I'm gonna go back and rewatch all the Men in Black movies, and you know what? I'm looking forward to it. But I do know already, Men in Black 1 is just a classic. That one is my favorite. And I remember really liking the sequel when it came out. Kind of cool, the reversal with, you know, Tommy Lee Jones being the guy with no memory, now having to be trained. And then, I mean, the third one was okay. There was a lot of elements of it that were pretty cool. Cool little emotional, you know, heartstring tugs at the end with the time travel. But, you know, it's probably not my favorite, but once I rewatch them, I'll have a better ranking for you and, you know, more clearer thoughts on that. But I am excited to see Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson reunited on the big screen for a 4th Men in Black movie. Number 4, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now, unlike Brayton, I did not grow up with these monster movies, so I don't have, like, a ton of nostalgia attached to it. But, you know, I've always passively liked Godzilla. I think Godzilla's pretty cool. Now, that first Godzilla movie that came out, yeah, I had my issues with it. Namely that it's called Godzilla and he's like in 11 minutes of this 2-hour-long movie. I wish we got more Godzilla, more, you know, big monster fights and stuff like that, because I don't care what the people are doing. What is Godzilla up to? Oh, he's swimming across the ocean. Okay, whatever. Point is even with those faults, I still really enjoyed the first Godzilla, and I enjoyed Kong Skull Island, and so I'm very much looking forward to this sequel. I think the trailers look incredible. I love the music choice in the trailers. Like, it just looks so good. Looks like it's got a very interesting story, so I cannot wait to see this movie. Number 3, Joker. Oh yeah, being the huge DC Comics fan that I am very curious to see the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. I mean, that trailer that they released, it truly does just look incredible. His performance in the trailer is pretty stellar. So I'm looking forward to seeing the complete performance and the whole story here and seeing what they do with a Joker origin story. Right now, from the very limited things I've seen, it looks very promising and I'm very excited. So I'm excited to see what DC has in store for us with this standalone Joker movie. Number 2, Spider-Man Far From Home. This is up there on my list because I really do like Spider-Man, and Tom Holland right now is my favorite live-action Spider-Man. I love his performance in that character. I mean, in 2 movies, he managed to make me cry, and then in other movies, he managed to make me cry because I was laughing. So I really do like Tom Holland in this role. I'm curious in this post-Endgame world now, what they're going to do with this character, the different things they're going to be introducing through this movie, which is supposedly the last of Phase 3. I'm excited to see this movie, not just because it looks like a really good Spider-Man movie with Mysterio and all that, but I'm excited to see what they're going to do with the MCU itself and what's going to be introduced in this movie. And number 1, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Oh yeah, this one is up there. The Emperor laughs at the end of this trailer. Palpatine, are you freaking kidding me? Oh my gosh, I made a guess the other day just talking with some friends that perhaps Rey is the daughter of Palpatine. Like maybe he never really died and he is her father. Do you know how mad I'm gonna be if I'm right and I just now totally guessed it? I would be really, really mad. So I'm really curious to see what it's gonna be like when J.J. Abrams takes up the reins again. Last Jedi wasn't my favorite, but I don't hate it by any stretch of the imagination. There were a lot of things in Last Jedi that I thought were very good and very well done. There were other things in The Last Jedi that I also didn't really care for. So of the new trilogy, Last Jedi thus far is my least favorite, but I loved The Force Awakens. I think Abrams is pretty darn good at directing, and I loved what he did with The Force Awakens, so I'm super excited to see how he's gonna pick it up from where we left off with Last Jedi and bring us this conclusion to the Skywalker saga. So I'm very much looking forward to it. So I don't know, maybe you hated Last Jedi and you're just kind of burned out on this whole Star Wars thing, but honestly, where Last Jedi left us, how could you not be anxious to see where is it gonna go? What is Abrams gonna do? What are they gonna do in the storytelling? What is next? Why is it called The Rise of Skywalker? What is going on? So there's a lot of things that really have piqued my interest, and I'm really excited to see where they're gonna go with it. And honestly, if they just put a lot of really good lightsaber fights in there and use the Force, I'll be happy. Seriously. Those are my top 5 movies that I am the most anticipating for the rest of 2019. What are yours? Let's talk in the comments, and while you're there, hit the subscribe button to become a Durbanian and hit the bell by the subscribe button so you're notified for my next ranking video, movie review, trailer reaction, or anything else I do here. I'm Durbin. Thanks for checking out Durbania.